All right.
Yeah, we get it in, I don't know about you. Go to my neck, go to my wrist too. Yeah, you know we deep, so you gotta let us through. They love us, we turn to trouble. Let me see what you.
What's up, Ray Gang? It's your girl right here to brighten your day with another reaction video. And today we are watching another Mr. Nightmare 3 true lockdown horror stories. I don't know why the closer it gets to Halloween, the more cooler I am with these videos. So today I'm going to be chill, I'm going to be relaxed, but I'm still going to have my bear. So chill out because I'm going to watch it with him. I feel a lot more comfortable. And I'm also going to listen to it with my beats. Again, I just feel like you get more of an effect with the beats. You get more, like you feel like you're there. So we're going to use the beats today. But before we even get into the video, let's get into these post notification shout outs, okay? I need my phone again. I don't like getting people's name wrong. Today's post notification shout out goes to Mior Adzamuddin Jabet. Thank you so much for joining the Ray Gang, and I love you so much for little raising at you. And very pretty, unique name, may I add. And let's get into the video, shall we? Okay. Please, God, don't let nothing pop out
I was
at me.
16 in my junior year of high school. I had 9 periods in a school day. 5th period was lunch, and straight from there was my astronomy class. My astronomy class was actually held in one of the 2 basement classrooms of the school. My
Why?
high school was big. There were 3 floors, and even that wasn't enough to accommodate all the classes offered. So
Nope.
the school built 2 classrooms in the basement.
Why?
It was honestly kind of creepy down there when nobody else was around. It used to be a janitorial area. However, it was remodeled to better resemble a typical hallway. The only thing, there were no intercoms or loudspeakers down in the basement at that time. For that reason, no classes were held down there first period for the morning announcements. Everyone referred to this little section of the basement as the chamber, and everyone always tried to get classes down there just because it was air conditioned and the classes were typically easier. Plus it had its own bathroom down there. We had a quiz in astronomy that day. Usually I was one of the first done just because I found the class easy.
Me.
After I finished my quiz, I texted my friend who was in the other basement classroom to meet me in the bathroom because I was bored. He told me okay. I walked out of the classroom and down the small hallway to the bathroom. A few seconds later, the door opened and my friend JJ entered the bathroom. We were joking around for a while, until JJ checked his phone and said someone texted him saying the school was going on lockdown.
Nope, see.
We both looked at each other with the same grins. Neither of our teachers saw us leave the classrooms. That meant we had free range of the school while it was on lockdown.
So lockdown
We
for a
agreed
reason.
to sneak upstairs and look around the hallways just for the hell of it. The worst that would happen is that we'd explain how we couldn't hear the announcements in the basement classrooms.
Exactly.
Upon opening the basement door to the main floor, we were surprised to find all the lights had been turned off, so the hallways were pretty much pitch black aside from the light pouring in from the doors in the lobby. This was legit because usually the lights were left on in the hallways during lockdowns. Something was going down, and we didn't know if we were even comfortable walking around now. JJ stepped out a little further into the hallway, and I followed suit.
No.
JJ then looked down the hall and said, "Who's that?" I looked, and emerging from the darkness was a man. At first, we couldn't tell if he was a teacher or not, but as he got closer, we realized this guy wasn't dressed at all like any staff member. He was dressed like a bum. "Alright, let's go," I told JJ as we hurried back down to the basement. He surely saw us, whoever he was. We saw both classrooms had their doors shut and lights off, so to avoid making a scene, we decided to hide in the bathroom. I shut the light first thing, and then we both went to hide in the corner stall. There was complete silence in the room. No ventilation, no heaters, nothing.
Wow.
Just the sound of me and JJ breathing, and an occasional drip from the sink. The door to the bathroom suddenly opened, and light from the hallway poured into the bathroom for a brief moment. The door shut, and the bathroom was once again pitch black. Me and JJ tried our best to control our breathing. The room was so silent that we could hear somebody walking over to our side of the bathroom. The person stopped and started breathing really heavily, as if they were out of breath.
I don't like that. I don't like that in my ears. I don't like that in my ears.
Scared to death.
No.
JJ did something very dumb. He whispered in my ear, "We have to crawl out through the other stalls."
Are you serious?
The room was so silent, however, that even JJ's whisper could be heard from across the room.
Dummy.
The heavy breathing outside the stall stopped, and the person tried pressing the stall door in. That was when I whispered, "Go, go," to JJ.
Deuces!
We both crawled under the sidewall to the next stall over, and then the next stall, and then finally out to the other side of the bathroom. The person was now full on banging on the stall door. Me and JJ hopped up off the floor, opened the door, and as the light filled the room again, we saw the guy from upstairs in the corner. We pounded on the door to JJ's class. The teacher let us in within seconds. JJ explained everything as the teacher locked the door, mentioning a gun sticking out of the man's pocket. I was shocked to hear this because I didn't see a gun, but I went along with it anyway. Usually a bunch of high school students would be laughing their asses off at two students causing a scene like this, but I noticed all the kids sitting in the corner looked concerned.
No.
A sudden bang at the door made everyone jump, and a couple of girls squeal out of fear. JJ, the teacher, and I could see the man standing at the door, looking through the window while trying the doorknob. After a few bangs on the door out of what seemed to be anger, he turned and walked down the hallway back to the stairs. We don't know how much longer the lockdown went on for, but for over an hour we sat in silence in the room, other than the teacher occasionally asking me and JJ questions in a very concerned tone, shaking his head after everything we would tell him. Eventually, somebody from upstairs called the teacher and he instructed all of us to single file walk up the stairs and out of the building, where we would be greeted by cops. Me and JJ did the best we could at describing the man to the cops and to the dean. One of the cops patted me on the back and we were sent off to go home. After this incident, the school installed cameras everywhere and ramped up the security budget. This incident never got media attention, so honestly, we never found out if police caught the guy. I'm convinced that man had no other intentions but to kill us then and there in that bathroom stall.
Look, there's some dumb, bad kids out there, and that's how they learn their lessons, which is sad. Oh, no.
I'm a retired New Jersey police officer. Throughout my 20 years in the force, the most disturbing call I ever received was for a school lockdown happening at a nearby middle school, of which I'll leave out the name for legal reasons.
Why it gotta be the most disturbing,
It happened
though?
on a stormy, dark day. My car number was called on the radio to respond to a lockdown, where a suspicious-looking man was seen stepping out from a white van parked behind a school and walking into the back door by the boys' locker room.
Pedophile!
I pulled up to the back parking lot of the school, right next to the white van. Nobody was inside, and all the doors and trunk were locked.
Pedophile!
I opened the red back door that entered into the gym hallway, right by the locker rooms. The main lights had been turned off, so the whole inside of the school was dark.
No.
I unholstered the flashlight from my belt and used it to
Where's
navigate
your
the halls.
backup?
I made it to the lobby of the school, where a woman emerged from the front office quietly, telling me to check the boys' locker room, but to be careful because the person might be armed. I called for backup on my radio and was assured backup was already on the way. I made it back to the hallway I entered from, where I found the boys' locker room right next to the exit. I pushed it open very quietly. There were no windows in the rooms, therefore there was no light whatsoever in that locker room. Only the light provided by the flashlight.
Oh, no.
There was a white noise in the room, some kind of vent on the ceiling blowing air. But even over that, I was hearing faint scratching type noises, or little dings on the locker doors from the other side.
Oh, no.
I was supposed to make my presence as a police officer known, but honestly, I was just too scared. The tension in the room was insane. I held my flashlight in one hand and my gun in the other as I snuck to the other side of the locker room. It seemed like wherever I was in the room, the dings and thuds would be coming from the other side. I was standing in the corner of the locker room, right by the door to the bathroom, when the sound of someone slamming a locker door from another room made me jump out of my skin.
Oh.
I went in the direction where I heard the slam to find out that it was from the boys' football team locker room. There was no door separating the main locker room from the football locker room. The lockers in here were also 3 times the size. I finally had the nerve to make my presence known by shouting police. After shouting, a kid started screaming help from somewhere in the room.
Oh,
it was
okay.
very muffled though.
Oh.
The kid pounded on a locker door on the other side of the row I was in. When I found out that the boy was trapped inside of a locker, I felt sick in my stomach. I told him I'd be right back, once again calling for backup while running outside to where the white van was.
Why?
It was gone. My biggest mistake was not getting the plate number first thing. I told dispatch to be on lookout for a suspicious white van. I ran back into the school and instructed the staff in the front office to end the school day and to send somebody with a key to the locker room to get the boy out of the locker.
You didn't get the license
plate? The boy
plate?
was held by the man with a knife on his back, as I speculate the man was quietly trying to get the 12-year-old boy to his van. The boy was bleeding on his arm from the man cutting him while resisting. The man's van was spotted a week later in a 7-Eleven parking lot, where he was arrested after being properly identified.
That is the worst cop I have ever heard of. Who doesn't check the license plate? Who doesn't write that down? Who tells the kid to hold on and leaves the room? What if he could have came back and got him?
I was staying in a Hampton Inn in New Jersey when I was visiting Rowan University, a college I potentially wanted to attend. My family couldn't come with me, so I was on my own.
Why?
After attending campus tours, I went to get a bite to eat at a nearby restaurant, and then went back to the hotel at around 8 p.m., planning on going back to campus again the next day. About an hour after returning to my room, a strange alarm started going off in my room, along with a white light flashing from the corner of the ceiling. A message started looping shortly after as well, saying something along the lines of, "All Hampton Inn guests, please remain in your rooms, this is a lockdown." I'd never heard of a lockdown in a hotel.
Right.
I never even knew hotels had alarms like this. I found it more interesting and exciting than anything else. Eventually the sound of the alarm stopped, but the light kept flashing, and every 20 seconds or so the message would repeat. It was only like 9:30, so I turned on the TV just as background noise while I started changing clothes and brushing my teeth. I shut the lights when I was done and hopped under the covers. I watched TV for half an hour before shutting it off. The light was still flashing with an obnoxious bright white every few seconds. It was definitely going to hinder my sleep. I was starting to consider calling the front desk to ask what was going on, when the phone rang.
Oh.
It was someone from the front desk. I was expecting them to tell me something about the alarm and when it would shut off. But instead, the person on the other end spoke in a very concerned voice. She told me to remain calm and walk out the door.
What do you mean?
I took that opportunity to ask her what exactly was going on. She went on to tell me that there was somebody in the room with me and to get out immediately.
No! Why is there... No!
I dropped the phone and instinctively started looking around
Y'all should have called the police for that.
Part of me
if you
was
knew.
curious to see if somebody was in fact in the room. I
You were
checked
curious?
under the bed, looked into the empty bathroom. Nobody in either spots.
Dumb.
Then
This is
I noticed
dumb.
the closet door right next to the bathroom. It was one of those closets with a wooden sliding door.
Do
It
not
was
show
open
a
just
face.
a tiny crack, and through that tiny crack, I could see a person's face.
Oh, no!
At first, it didn't sink in what I was seeing,
No!
but when the door slid shut, that was when I freaked out and ran out the door. The people at the front desk showed me security footage from an hour earlier of some sketchy-looking man walking around the hallways, apparently looking for a certain room. When he got to my door, he opened it with the card he somehow acquired, and that was it. I stayed around as the authorities took the person out in chains.
Oh my
It was a man,
God.
of course, on the shorter side, easily 40s. He looked at me as he passed, as if he knew who I was immediately.
You seen his
It's
face.
scary thinking back that he may have been watching me for more than an hour from that closet.
Is it over? Okay, it's over. Okay. 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 Yep. Okay. I am gonna just say this. Out of all the three, the third one scared me the most. I'm gonna definitely say the third one scared me the most because I don't deal well with faces popping out. I know the face didn't pop out, it just visibly got there. I don't deal well with stuff like that. Clearly you can see I don't. I clenched the heck out of my bear just now. I had to refrain myself from cussing. I didn't like that. I didn't like that last one. No, especially because it was in a hotel. And for the concierge to call and say that the man is in your room, why didn't you just call the cops? And why didn't you get a group of people, bring him to the room, go get the man? Now you got him panicking. But you ain't gotta tell me twice. The man was dumb because he went and started checking. You started checking for the person. If you started checking, you're in a hotel room, it's dark, you're on lockdown. You really want to start checking your room if there's a killer in your room? You are dumb as dumb could be. But let's get to the second story. The second story was pedophilia. To a T. The cop was stupid. Any cop that doesn't get the license plate number before they go and investigate and you see the car, you're not doing your job right. You need to get suspended. You need to get fired. And then the little boy's banging on the locker, and then you gonna tell the boy to hold on. He's in the dark. He's 12. You get the boy out first. Obviously get the boy out first. And then what just threw me for a loop is when you went in, you said, I was gonna yell that I was police, but I was too scared. Then this ain't the right job for you, sir. You got to go. No. Then the first story was not that bad. Although the first story could have turned into something much worse because, first of all, the teachers are not doing their jobs. How do you not realize 2 kids are missing from your classroom? Just throwing that out there. How you just walk out your classroom without your teacher saying nothing? That's just not a teacher not doing their job. And then, why you got classrooms in the basement? That's sketchy. That's suspicious. That's weird. I'm sorry, but the bathroom scene, the friend was dumb because, look, if it was me and one of my friends, you gotta say it like how you gotta do it. Like, you can't be talking, you can't be whispering. That's how you get caught. Luckily, they had the certain stalls where you could climb under them suckers and just get free, because if it was a different type of stall, I'm climbing over a toilet and I'm jumping. But see, there's 2 of us. If it would have happened where you had to fight for your life, we have to fight for our life. Because we the only ones in here, we're in the dark. No. And then these are all true. These are all true. Wow. Wow. But anyways, guys, I'd like for you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Give me my videos to react to. Give me songs to sing. Give me challenges to try. And new thing coming on my channel very soon. Very, very soon. Like, I have stuff built. They're probably like, stuff built? Yeah, stuff is built. But I'll catch you later on that one. And I love you again. Bye!